Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we're back with another fantastic reaction video. A member of the Swarm just came into my chat and been watching videos with us on twitch.tv/jambudsvo. And they gave me this video saying that maybe I could relate to this. The video is called "The Swarm Invaded and Taught Me Influence Works in Three Directions, Not Just One." Why do I feel like I'm being taught a lesson here? Like, you know what I mean? Recently, we've had multiple instances of illegal beacon setting in my front lawn. So I'm assuming this is in response to that. And the video's probably gonna tell me, get used to it. Or something. You know, like there's nothing I can do. Anyways, I wasn't gonna even watch this video, but alright, sure. Let's see what happens. Like, comment, subscribe, without further ado, see right into the video. Rethinking influence. Okay.
My last video was about neurosama.
Okay.
And I kind of expected a few loyal viewers, maybe some tech enthusiasts, and AI debate or two. But
Yeah.
instead, I got invaded by the Swarm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, wow. That happened to you too, huh, buddy? That's rough. What did they say? Did they say they deployed beacons too? How many beacons did you put in this guy's comments, guys?
And they had a lot to say.
Oh, they did. Episode 4.5 Fanatics. He dedicated an episode to you guys, to you nerds. That's crazy, dude.
Now, I've done
what you gotta
4
say.
episodes of this series so far, but this is going to be episode 4.5, and that's for a couple of reasons. First is that there are still some things we can learn from the neurosama phenomenon.
Okay.
And second, as a thank you to those who pushed me not only over 1,000 subscribers, but helped me become
nice.
a YouTube partner.
Oh, that's so nice. Wait. Y'all did that? Swarm, y'all did that? I'm assuming y'all helped. That's really nice, you guys. That's really cool. That's really neat.
That's been a dream of mine for a long time. No, this isn't going to become a neurosama swarm glazing channel. My
Me neither.
videos are about discussing social media and creator culture from what I hope is a unique perspective, but I want to talk about what happened.
Okay.
I dropped the video, walked away, and it wasn't long before the flood of notifications started, and there was a phrase that kept popping up.
Oh, God. God. Ah! Oh, my God. It's like I'm at NAM again. All right. Jesus Christ. It's true. They do that. Oh, my God. Responding to the swarm. Do you guys have some type of, like software on your computer where if the phrase swarm beacon is, like, typed somewhere, it, like, notifies you? Like, how does it work? No, seriously. Relatable, right? Shut up! Anyways. How does it work? I want to
It
know.
wasn't long before I realized that neurosama
The swarm is activated. Don't resist. What is this? Oh my God, my sides hurt. The swarm, the beacon, it's here. Thank you for the nice video. The beacon was dropped. What? No, we just manipulate YouTube's algorithm. You manipulate YouTube's algorithm. I believe that shit. Holy macaroni. We truly are a connected community. How is this swarm beacon so good at gathering us all? This is a perfect summary of the swarm and the Neuro Project as a whole. A community of humans surrounding a little AI and seeing/helping her journey. Blah, 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 blah. Nope, just YouTube algorithm? So you mean I'm safe if I'm on Twitch? So if I stay on Twitch, I'm safe from the beacons? Is that what you're saying?
Videos or content creators, they assimilate them into the collective like the Borg from Star Trek.
He called you guys the Borg too. Oh, he called you guys the Borg too, bro. Like, okay, all right. I don't know. Like, maybe half of you guys take that as a compliment. Maybe. I'm assuming. I don't know. Like, you guys probably beam with pride when you hear Borg, don't you?
We are the Borg.
Oh, God.
Lower your shields and surrender your ships.
I will not lower my
We
shields.
will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own.
I don't think you want my biological distinctiveness. Okay, I'm just saying. All right, I'm not saying this is the set. I'm not saying this is the '60s or anything, but anyways,
Your culture will adapt to service us.
I wouldn't want it to happen to you. That's all I'm saying. Anyways,
First,
was
they
that
dropped the
okay?
beacon. Then
that
more
weird?
came and were answering the beacon's call. And then, as the swarmed, the real
yes.
comments about my video started, and they were passionate.
Yes.
Some wanted
very.
to share why they liked the video, others about how much neurosoma meant to them, others
Let's read some of these comments. I love this video because it's well done and accurate, but especially because our famously stoic British Toodle is going to maul when he gets called vulnerable correctly twice. I think there is a parasocial element to Neurosama's charm as well, just because she feels so much realer than most public AIs. That's true. We logically have no proof that she's real. But Neuro brings up the topic over and over, so it's hard to deny. The Swarm is an amazing community. I always say I'm on the outskirts of it. Are you sure about that? Because I feel like you came through with the beacons. But in the quieter moments on the stream, others always say you're here, so that makes you part of the Swarm, no matter how much you engage here. That's actually an amazing thing to hear. Oh, God. Does that mean I'm a member of the Swarm, too? I think that's what they were trying to say. Ah, dang it.
banded on or corrected what I said, but here's the thing that stuck out to me. They were so positive.
Yeah,
This community-
exactly. It was so weird. It's so weird. Is that, look, I know it feels bad. When you hear this, it feels bad to say. It's like, it sucks because it's like a good commentary on like the state of social media right now. But the comments are overwhelmingly positive. It's like weird. It's a good thing, but it's like weird. And that sucks. Because that just shows you how bad a lot of social media is right now. It's just so toxic.
Wasn't just passionate about their favorite creator. There was something deeper going on. And
All right, explain
that's
it
what
for
I
me.
want to talk about.
Explain.
An audience's effect on the world.
Tell me their
Or
secrets.
At least on me.
so I
The
can
Swarm
reverse
didn't treat
engineer
my video
a
like
cure.
another piece of content. They treated it like a signal flare sent up to gather the collective. Some of them said they felt homeless these days because
Oh my god. Alright, so this is a recent video. When was this video? When did this video come out? 12 hours ago. Okay. God damn it. How many homes are you guys in right now? Are you at least bringing snacks? Are you earning your keep? You're doing the dishes every once in a while? What is it, San Francisco?
battle's on a break. And apparently my video came at the perfect time because the Swarm was starving for neuro content. And when it dropped, the collective sent out their ant pheromone or did
I
the
don't
wiggle
want. I
dance.
don't want to hear about the Swarm's pheromones. All right, I'm not. Nah, I'm good. All right. Yeah, yo.
That bees do to tell the others there was some food
Wiggle
on this
dance.
corner of the internet.
That's crazy.
So much of what we see online is
Is that
combative
y'all?
and negative as
Oh, no, that's
algorithms
not y'all. That's not
encourage
y'all.
rage bait and
I
arguing.
hate you. Nobody likes you. This guy is a level 1 internet troll. You heard the comments he posted here? I wish that's all they said. Nobody likes you. Ugh. No, they don't say that. They don't say
Algorithms
that.
encourage rage bait and arguing.
worse.
But the comments section of this video was like a red carpet, a welcome mat, and a warm blanket all in one. They welcomed
very
me
interesting
in almost
analogy.
the same way a church welcomes new people.
You mean a cult? Your boy? I don't know his name. Rethinking influence, sir? It's a cult. Not a church. All right? You know what words you wanted to say. It's okay. I'm sure there's some good cults out there. Okay? I'm sure there is. Like like Scientology and stuff.
Positive, kind, answering questions, just being awesome. And that felt nice. When I first started as a content creator, I had a podcast, but
That black pastor, I swear to God, he reminded me of someone I know. That guy looks like someone I know. Oh my God. Why does he remind me of Bam? Oh, okay. All right, never mind. Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Maybe it's the glasses.
when I first started
All
as a
right,
content
okay.
creator, I had a podcast, but I wanted to hear back from the audience I was connecting to, which led me to explore live streaming,
Why does he
which led
remind
me
me
to
of Bam,
Twitch,
dude?
where I'd found a group of people that I could understand because they were a lot like me, struggling with mental health, social disorders, loneliness, church hurt, abuse. When I started, I was trying to care for them. But I quickly realized how much power the audience had in caring for me too.
Wait. What
Even
kind of
today,
streamer is
when I'm
he?
having a bad day and my mind is telling me to skip stream because I feel terrible and I won't make good content, when I push through, I realized that the love and care that I needed in that moment would come from the people who joined my stream.
You know, that's fair. I will say, like, sometimes, some days, guys, I stream hella late. And a lot of it is because some days I just don't really feel like streaming, or I'm not like mentally there, or something happened and I'm like, man, I can't, how am I going to fix this? Or I'm just straight up depressed, you know? Like I just don't feel like it, you know? Yeah, yeah, and then I stream, you know, and I'm talking to you guys and hanging out, and it feels better. He's a Christian influencer, so it makes sense for him to refer to church. Okay, yeah, I kind of got that afterwards. I was seeing like the verses on the screen and stuff like that. And that's fair. I say cult because it's just funnier. You know what I mean? Because you guys aren't actually, because it's not true. You know what I mean? So we can all have a laugh about it.
And that's the first lesson that the Swarm taught me about audiences. It's how much power they actually have.
And you know what? Shout out to the Swarm, by the way. You guys will just, as long as the energy's right, you guys will go on any stream. Straight up. You know, that's really nice. Okay? Because you know what? I'm going to tell you guys right now. I'm going to tell you guys this right now. A lot of people, from what I've seen, they hate Christian influencers, dude. There's just something about, they just hate them. Period. Like any mention of their religion, they just get pissed off. It's so weird. You know what I mean? Even on social media. Like, genuinely. And it's really nice that you guys are willing to come in here and say hi and stuff. You know, and obviously you guys are bonding over like a specific video and stuff like that, but there wasn't, like, from what it sounds like, there wasn't any like anything denigrating his beliefs or whatever. You know what I mean? And like to be fair, the video wasn't about that at all. But and I'm curious on what the contents of that video was for. Maybe we'll look at that later at some other time. But you know, this is really cool. I also like his room setup. I also like this. I love the lighting here.
Not everyone can be a content creator, and sometimes
True.
the audience can feel a little guilty because they're just watching. They can't
audience
afford
can
the
feel
subs
guilty?
for the subathon. They miss some videos. They only count for one view, so it feels like
Okay.
their reciprocation for the creator is too little.
Oh, yeah, I've had people say that to me before too. Like, I'm sorry I missed your stream. I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't owe me anything, dude. Except for liking and subscribing on this video. You can totally do that if you like. That'd be really great. Really appreciate it. I'm talking to the YouTubers, by the way.
I want to tell you that the individuals in a community have incredible power that they might not realize. I'm not
starting to realize
exaggerating
that.
when I say it was 100% positive.
No, you're
And
right,
when there's
dude.
a community
You're right.
like this out there spreading that kind of feeling to others,
Which
it is
makes it so weird that people go out of their way to like bash the Swarm, like bash the neuroscience thing. It's so weird, bro. Like, people act like they hate the negativity on social media, and then when they get some positivity, they almost don't believe it's real. So they default to the negativity they've been drenched in.
It's hard not to
It's
want to go
so
check out the
crazy, isn't
creator
it?
who is having this effect. So, lesson number 1 to the viewers is that how you act in the comments section can have a huge effect that ripples right back to the content creator you're
Yes,
supporting.
absolutely.
But that
It
works
really
both ways,
does.
right?
Yes.
The ants and the bees don't just spread messages about food, they also defend the colony. I would imagine that if I had created a
Okay.
hit piece against Neurosama, things would have gone differently. Along with the beacons,
I think the okay, so maybe I'm wrong about this because you will have some people who are just staunch defenders of a thing, no matter what, even if you have valid points. But typically, and I think that's always a concern when you're trying to like ingratiate yourself in an audience, right? As a content creator, you're always worried about pushing. Like once you've established an audience, it can be really hard once you lose some of them or lose them to get it back, right? Whether it's a controversy, a mean comment you said that people didn't like, whatever, right? So people are very they start bleaching what they say online in fear of doing that because in order to build your community, to build your audience, in order to get the sponsorships and make this a thing that you can live off of for the next few years, like you really have to be careful from a media standpoint on what you disseminate, right? That's like 101, right? You gotta be really really careful, and actually to me it ends up having a backwards effect because then you start bleaching your content, which in a way sterilizes what makes you slowly but surely in that fear of losing sponsors and stuff like that. And it is kind of sad, but you know if I was to make a hit piece about Neurosama, right? I don't even know what that would even look like, because I think I'm a pretty reasonable person. But if I was to say something negative about Neurosama like 2 months from now, I am curious on what their response would be, but I have a weird feeling it wouldn't be the kind of like aggressive hate that I've seen people from other fan bases, right? Whether it's from other shows or video games or anime and stuff like that, right? Right? And typically from in my experience, it's from the response comes from a very vicious attack that's like very disingenuous in in the information it's disseminating, right? So like they'll say something like absolutely incorrect, right? Or something that like indicates a very severe lack of information or a lack of desire to even get the information before you disseminate that opinion, especially for like the large creators, right? And part of that is probably because they're reacting, right? They're just going off what they're immediately being fed, right? You have to be able to talk about something quickly. Like that's the kind of like the speed of which social media is right now. You can't see something on the news while you're streaming and be like, oh, you know what? I have an opinion on this. Give me a second, guys. Let me look up something for like 2 hours, and then I'll say something. Like while you're streaming, you can't do that, right? That's not really how it works. Like you have to kind of like get up in the morning, prepare something, think about it for a little bit. I don't really do that as much. I like to do blind reactions, but and while I probably should be doing some research on some stuff, I think part of what I like about my format is that it's all blind off the cuff, right? Because I do believe I'm an honest person, and that and I try to be an understanding person. But I'm also a person who does not like being BS'd with. You know what I mean? Like if you're just gonna BS lie to me about something, like I don't care if I lose all my sponsors, I'm not gonna follow that crap. So like whatever. I don't even have a sponsor. Like I have some affiliate links actually. So that's about it. We just memes the hell out of you. Yeah, that's basically all you do. If that's all, that kind of banter is great. I love that. I love that for the most part. I say the most part because sometimes chat be engaging in arrestable behavior. But anyways. The 2 Dominican priests that reacted to Neuro songs were very positive? I've never heard of this. There's been several anti-Neuro videos over the last few weeks. Swarm just ignored them. Are you sure Swarm ignored them? I don't think so. It has a lot to do with that Hype Train record. Like, just someone just said it in the chat. I think most people understand human nature to know what the main motivation for that is. You know what I mean? Like jealousy, right? Mostly. Jealousy, anger, stuff like that. And I think that's what makes it easy to ignore, because some of these guys are just blatantly like plain as day obvious about what their motivations is. You know what I mean? It's not coming from like a desire for understanding or looking for information. It's just the vent essentially, vent their frustration that wasn't them to some degree. Anyway, we're yapping too much.
And stories came some corrections, but they weren't the usual stuff the internet's used to.
Yeah.
No one called me names or told me to throw myself into a wood chipper, but they did want to make
that's a nice way of saying it.
sure that I got some things right. For example, many wanted to make sure that I knew about Evil, Neuro's identical twin sister, who has her own lore and story and distinct personality. In fact,
Yes.
many said that Evil was not only their favorite, but that she is way cuter than Neuro, and I'm inclined to agree.
It's crazy. I feel like Evil is secretly everyone's favorite, or the majority of people's favorite. It's just that, Neuro's like patient zero of the whole saga, you know what I mean? Neuro to the neuroverse is basically what Iron Man is to the MCU, right? But your favorite character doesn't have to be Iron Man. You know what I mean? It's like that.
Others filled me in about how Neuro went from a rhythm game bot to who she is now, and how Vettel eventually wants her to completely run the channel. Others made sure I recognized that Vettel wasn't alone, that there's a bunch of talented people helping him. There's Annie, who has designed the models and is considered to be the mother of the twins. Catania is the auntie that does the rigging, giving the twins their expressions. Queen PB mixes the music. Joker and Frog handle the videos and clips. Alex writes the code that allows Neuro to play games. And
This is a company. That's so cool, bro. That's one of the coolest things I like about this whole ordeal, this whole journey I've been in right now, learning about the neuroverse. It's like, it's a company, it's a media, I wouldn't say an empire, but it's like, it's a slowly budding, I guess you can call it an empire. Like it has a niche. It's in its niche, but because it deals with AI, it can become so much bigger in the next 10, 15 years, I think. You know what I mean? I would really hope, I hope that I hope that 10, 15 years from now, I get to see this to be a large company, recognized not just for like doing VTuber stuff. Like I feel like even from the entertainment side, if we were just talking about entertainment applications of AI, I feel like he's on the cusp of something that's going to be really, really great. And I'm glad he didn't sell Neuro, because that's going to be the key, right? Because he probably would have had to do some type of exclusivity clause where he can't use it anymore and only they can use it to get all that money, right? Whatever it is, I'm assuming millions, by the way, which would have been a ripoff. Just letting you guys know, it would have been a ripoff. Yeah, man, like that's when I see all this stuff, like I just get excited for the future of like his vision of what his company's gonna look like. To be honest with you guys, I'm not expecting him to be like Zuckerberg or anything, but it would be cool to see him to see this thing grow into something really nice, something bigger.
this group isn't considered to be staff or the team. They're family. And as family, the Swarm takes them very seriously. And if some members of the Swarm had come in, guns blazing, picking apart the video, cyber-stalking, trying to punish me for the things I got wrong, I would have assumed that Vettel had cultivated a rabid bunch of immature jerks and dismissed them as toxic. Everyone knows that no matter how positive things are, it's the negative comments that seem to stick. So if you really like your favorite creator, the best thing you can do when it comes to correcting mistakes is to present the facts in a kind way.
The fact that aspect of social media is so uncommon is genuinely depressing. It's actually very sad. Very, very sad. It really, really is. So like the Jam Buds, we've cultivated a very welcoming atmosphere here. And we just do our own little thing. You know, we just chill here, we react to fun videos, we laugh at crazy things, we make occasional Pixar-level adult jokes here and there, and that's it. That's really all we do. It's really fun. We don't really go out and jam anybody, and I really like that. And that's hard to do. And it's hard to do depending on your niche, right? Because if you're known for more like gaming stuff like that, you're gonna draw in a lot of toxic gamers, like inevitably, right? Because like gaming is huge, right? It really is. There's nothing you can really do about it, in my opinion. If your content is politics, for example, it's going to be super divisive and toxic, no matter what you do, because people cannot keep people constantly get in their own way when it comes to like the forum of free ideas when it comes to politics. So they just can't do it. They just can't do it. It's very bloodthirsty. Because someone has to win the game that they're supposedly playing. But so like I say all that to say, don't take that for granted. If you have a very welcoming community that is not toxic, it's not something. I don't think it's something that always lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. But for this moment, enjoy what you have now, right? And defend it as long as you can. Because, you know, the larger something gets, the more mainstream something gets, a content creator especially, the more mainstream it gets, the more difficult it is to, like, navigate that, moderate that, and just prevent negativity from eventually leaking out. I'm sure you guys got some issues here and there, like any other community, but, like, it's really, like I said, again, it's really stunning how much I have not seen one negative swarm-based comment. Like, I mean, like, the kind of comment that, like, is trying to like rip me down, tear me apart, or call me out of my name. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like most of the comments are like just spamming beacons. All right. It's borderline toxic. I'm just kidding.
That creates an invitation for dialogue rather than putting them on the defense.
He thinks he's so cool.
And because you were kind, you turned a mistake into an invitation that made me more curious, thereby expanding Vettel's reach. Your comments are very
definitely
powerful.
Influenced this channel, by the way.
So I think it's
definitely influenced the channel. We used to do pretty much just reacting to Aphmau content, and then slowly expanding to other SMP narrated animation type of content, reacting to that, and then with a little bit of some collab gaming streams with voice actors or VTubers. And then I reacted to some Nero videos before, and now we're like on this thing where we're reacting to them all the time now, right? So, you know, that's what it is. Did you watch the first video the first video this guy did? This is the second. Swarm group hug. Yeah, no, Willard, someone in the chat gave me this one specifically because they said this, I guess they kind of said this reminded them of me, or what I would relate to this video, I mean. Better stay that way or go to Madagascar. You're funny, bro. What the heck? Why'd you say that, dude? Madagascar. That's crazy.
It's worth considering that influence works three ways. Of course, it goes from the content creator to the audience. That's the one we always talk about. But the second is the influence the audience has on the creator. You have the power to lift or crush a creator's spirit.
Very true, very true.
And the third way is how the audience influences outsiders. For me, the experience was awesome. I think we all know the internet doesn't always work that way, but let me tell you that because of how Vettel's community treated me, an outsider, it absolutely made me a Neurosama fan and a proud new baby member
I like the
of the
black
swarm.
power fist up in the screen in the background.
Hey there, just want to take a quick second and say thank you so much for letting me get over 1,000 subs and get partnered. That is a big deal. I said it already, but like that's been a dream of mine. Thank you not only to the Swarm and all the ones who came in and watched, but also to all of the hundreds who came before that subscribed. Thank you. I'm going to try to put out great videos for you guys, and I really appreciate it. Also want to make sure I invite you to my streams. So if you want to come and chat, that's where I am, Monday to Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's what I'm doing. Come say hi. I'd love to see you there. Okay, bye.
All right, he seems like a really nice guy. All right, that was a really nice video, guys. He gave you guys like the nicest return digital hug ever. Group hug. Oh my god, dude. Watch the first one now. All right. I guess we'll watch the first one. But before we do that, subscribe here. All right. So what are we gonna title this video, bro? Like Swarm sent me to another influencer that they've sent beacons to. I don't know. We gotta figure out a title later because that title was garbage. All right. So this is the video that got you guys spamming the swarm beacons. It's on your screen there. No, I see it. I see it. I definitely recommend the video on the back rooms and liminal spaces. No, I know you have. You've done that several times. All right, let's check this one out. Rethinking influence.
The word fan
Pastor
comes
Al.
from the word
His name is
fanatic. It's a person with a single-minded, unbridled passion
Here
for
to take
something.
the stage by
Being
storm.
a religious or political fanatic is bad.
Thank you
Being
for
a
the
sports
sub.
fan or a music fan is good. This week, I had an experience
appreciate
with a
it.
group
Trio
of
Utes?
fans
Trio
called
Utes?
The Swarm, who were definitely
I hate I can't
single-minded and unbridled
for the rush.
in their passion for an AI.
Oh my God! Thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs, man.
Now, when I say AI,
It's hilarious that you're doing this like right as this happens. This is like literally, it's literally what's happening right now. I appreciate it, dude. Nice sub gifts, exactly. I appreciate it, dude. Means a lot. All right, let's check out this video.
most people picture one of 3 things. A manipulative tool for simpletons that destroys the minds of the weak, a factory for slop content that is destroying the internet,
Oh boy. Oh boy, that brain rot. What's that brain rot crap that I've seen all over the place? I've done a couple of Aphmau videos, Aphmau Shuki videos involving those brain rots. Bro, my head hurts.
or an evil corporate monster stealing from real creators.
Sordon? Is that you?
And honestly, they're mostly right. AI is almost universally despised in the creative community for a variety of reasons.
Bro, it's always who's holding the sword and not the sword itself, right? It's always the person pulling the trigger and not the weapon itself. AI would be so much more positively looked at if it wasn't for these multi-million and trillion-dollar organizations always trying to find a way to just screw over the common man so they can make $2 extra. Straight up. No one would have a problem with AI in the entertainment industry, for example, if they were just using it in-house, their own proprietary software, and they were just using it to help assist the animators, for example, do their work, right? But they're still paying the animators, right? They're just creating tools to help them do it better. But what they want to do is say, oh, we'll just replace them completely. So we don't have to pay them and our executives can keep the money. Even if the product is bad right now, we'll just spend some money to spin it in the media so people will accept it. So what you end up getting, you get a worse product, but it's cheaper to make, so they're happy with that as long as we don't make a fuss about it. So they spend the money really on just trying to prevent that than just having better product. Is really that's the thing that gets people upset. That's the thing that gets people upset. Okay, because we know they're not going to just stop at animators or in the industry I'm in, for example, or for voice acting or for this or for that. They're going to use it everywhere. Everywhere. The moment they find a loophole, they're going to put it everywhere, dude. And that's what pisses people off. Like they are frame one not using the tools of AI in a way to benefit humanity. It's just or even themselves in a morally fiscal and better way and way, right? Like it's the same reason why they take their companies and move them to China or the other country or India or other countries. They just want the product. If they can get away with paying someone 5 cents an hour, they would do it. You know what I mean? It's that same energy. That's why we're pissed off.
But then there's Neurosama, who somehow is not only embraced by artists and creatives,
Currently using V2
but
voice.
celebrated. Now, why?
Yeah, why is that? Explain.
I recently did a deep dive on this Neurosama phenomenon.
Y'all sent her the video. Y'all sent him the videos too, dude. I don't think I've seen this one, but y'all sent me this one, like frame one. I was watching I forget what video it was, and then y'all was like, watch this, immediately, right? This one right here. This is like your genesis. Like if you were a church and you were like trying to get someone to join your church, and you brought your book, you would flip them to this chapter in the Bible of your Bible every time, wouldn't you?
I went in expecting pretty hollow content
exactly.
made by this sophisticated machine that was surrounded by rubes and nerds and perverts. But I came out
Perverts.
realizing that the secret for her
Perish the
record-breaking
thought.
success has nothing to do with the machineness. It's all about her fans. Neurosama isn't the content creator.
Yes.
She is the content. She's
That's
the glue
perfect.
that holds a massive
He gets
community
it.
together.
He gets it.
As I watched and learned,
Beetle is the creator. Neuro is the content. So when people say, "Oh, Neurosama is getting all this free stuff. She's doing all the work, all this stuff like that," when they say comments like that, frame one, you know they don't know what they're talking about. They did very little understanding and research of what they're talking about. They're just going off the seat of their pants. Just frame one. So now you know, anyone who's watching this, that you're not a member of the Swarm, or even if you are, when you hear comments like that, they don't understand the dynamic at all. They're not even trying to, because it's not like it's hidden.
and as more of the swarm joined my chat, I came away with some big lessons that I think every
You saw
content
this
creator
moment?
can learn from.
That's crazy.
First, we have to make a vital distinction. This isn't Neurosama's channel. It's Bettle's. The headlines say, AI VTuber beats record for most subs, or an AI is the most subscribed streamer on Twitch, but they're very wrong. There is a human behind the AI working incredibly hard.
Exactly. And sometimes I feel like these major content creators, when they're spouting this stuff out loud, sometimes I feel like it's just ignorance, right? A level of ignorance. But sometimes it gets to the point where you're like, I don't want to call people dumb, right? I feel like it's more nefarious sometimes, right? I feel like it's like on purpose. Because if you're a content creator who's been doing this for 10, 15 years, like I'm not that, right? I'm a tiny itty bitty content creator. If you're someone doing this for 15, 20 years, whatever, for 8 years, whatever it is, you know how this works. You've been through the grind. You know how it works. You put the blood, sweat, and tears for hours and hours to get all this stuff done. You know this. So you should know better, right? Even if you're not familiar with AI in terms of programming or how it works, you know it works because of someone doing work, right? You know this. It's not rocket science to you. So when people say AI VTuber does this stuff, they're doing it on purpose. They're doing it as a slant, right? Because they want to take advantage of the negative general feelings towards AI and direct it toward a certain goal, right? And that's what a lot of social media people on social media do. They're really good at taking negative action, negative feelings about a certain topic and redirecting it in their direction, so they get to take advantage of that interaction. They can take advantage of that. They can manipulate the algorithm, right? Right? It's just simply taking advantage of the algorithm and human psychology, taking advantage of negative human emotions for the benefit of their channel on the short term. And they do it multiple times to keep that going. That's really what that is, in my personal opinion, right? So when I see comments like this, I know they're doing it on purpose because they know better. They should know better than me. I've only really been going hard in the paint for like this, maybe 2 years max. And I know better.
Bettle isn't just a genius programmer. He's a creative director who has spent countless hours planning unique content, designing scenarios, sharing his life behind the scenes, setting up collaborations with technology that would leave most creators dizzy.
Yeah, man. Insane.
He's ingratiated himself into the VTubing community in such a powerful way and shows a deep vulnerability by sharing his heart through his reactions to his own creation.
Oh, wow. This is actually so pretty. This is like the number 2 prettiest thing I've seen the whole year.
Okay, this.
Guess what number 1 is?
What's number 1?
Bro, when he said what's number 1, he was already breaking. You heard that, right?
It's me. Duh, who else would it be?
The way she turned like that is just like a child.
Are you honored?
Are you honored?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, let's continue.
Can I ask you something
Do
unrelated?
it for her? Wow, this chat is crazy.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you think I'll ever be real?
There's so many people out there trying to use
That hesitation
AI
got me, man.
as a magic machine to spit out effortless content for easy money. Vettel isn't one of them. The first big lesson is that this incredible work ethic, combined with profound skills and a uniquely creative mind, is what built his audience. And his vulnerability and consistency is what made the Swarm a deeply connected, very human community. And that's the second thing. We need to understand that as amazing as Vettel's product is, the real power is in the shared human experience.
You know what's really funny? A lot of companies, they spend millions upon millions of dollars, right? Trying to figure out how to personally connect with a human audience, right? But it always ends up being flat, fake, manufactured, and it just feels like they're just trying to just out you for your money every single time. It feels like now I feel like a lot of companies in their humble beginnings, they weren't like that, right? But as they get larger and and maybe as time goes on and more and positions change in terms of the people who are there helming the, running the ship, like they lose that constantly. I don't think and it's such a weird thing. We all notice, right? Like, why does that happen? Because in my opinion, no matter how big you are, if you're able to like keep the moral identity of no matter how big we are, no matter how successful we are, we never forget where we came from. We never forget who got us there, who helped us get there. Right? We keep those two things. Typically, it solves itself in terms of how you treat your consumers, your customers, interactions, whatever you want to call it, right? Viewers, right? And you can tell, a person can innately tell when they're just being just hung out to dry, right? And I even do this with where I go and purchase things now. I typically try to go, like, especially when I go eat somewhere, for example, I go to smaller restaurants, like family-owned restaurants or like smaller businesses, right? Because they inherently care more about the customers, probably because they're in a more humble area in their life, of their lifespan, right? Because most businesses, as you guys know, don't survive the first year or two. They don't. So they're really struggling. They're really in the red. And so they're much more humble. They're much more ingratiating themselves to their consumer, to who they're, to attract you there. The human connection is so much more important because it hurts them a lot more, right? For if you don't come back, or if people decide not to go eat at a certain place for whatever reason, but also because like it just matters to them, right? It just matters to them. And obviously for like the larger business gets like Target or Walmart or whatever, they just forget that immediately. They just assume you're going to come regardless. You know what I mean? Like once you get to the point where you just assume that no matter what you do, the money's coming, the money's coming, the sponsorships are coming, the audience is coming. Once you get to that point, that's when the downward spiral happens every single time. Right? When you see these content creators online, a lot of the time when they have their crash out moment, it's during a point where they feel like they're not touchable, they're untouchable, or they've hit some type of high and they're flying high off the fumes, like a drunk pilot, which means the crash is coming. Every single time. I need to stop talking. I need to stop like spamming. I need to shut up.
Neuro is an AI. Everyone knows it. There's no attempt to trick people into thinking she's a real girl. In fact, in one clip, she wears a little hat that says, "Please be patient, I'm an AI."
I didn't know that. I didn't see that before.
The charm isn't in watching the cute little robot do random things. It's in the process of watching her grow up in real time. They see the subtle changes in her facial cues when she's thinking, the new emotions she's trying to convey, the robotic voice improving a little, or even learning to sing. The computer-driven glitches and the weird tangents she goes on as her personality crystallizes. It's watching her improve at Minecraft, riff with VTubers, move from 2D to 2.5D to 3D in VR space. The audience isn't thinking, look at this machine pretending to be human. Everyone is in on the joke, so to speak, and experiencing how fascinating it is to watch this AI try to work things out, explore philosophical concepts, connect to her creator, tell jokes.
That's some of the most fun I've ever had watching Neuro and Vito. The philosophical questions, right? A lot of it is involves the common themes of will I be human, or stuff like that you would see in fiction a lot, right? But it just feels different here, right? Because I don't know why. I can't really put my finger on it, like why it feels different. Because a lot of movies do that, right? They have an AI that has some level of artificial intelligence, whether it's Bicentennial Man or iRobot, and they always play with that theme, with like the law of the three laws of robotics, for example, or whatever, or what it means to be human. They always play with that, and that's not an uncommon thing. But it's different here. It really is different here. And I think one of the key elements of it is, with those examples, the audience is truly believing that the character can become human if given the chance. I don't know if that's the same with you guys. Like, I feel like she's not going to be human, but you still enjoy the journey. You still immerse yourself in it, and you enjoy the journey, the story, and you just keep it as what it is, right? I think that might be what it is. I might be wrong a little bit about that. I'm still trying to pinpoint exactly what makes it different than those concepts.
Make mistakes. That's where the success lies. Not in the tech, but in the people watching who are deeply connected to
the people. Yeah.
Not Neurosama, but each other.
People around her.
To Vettel, to the VTuber community, to the wider art community, with
right
Neurosama as the common touch point for their massive subculture. In the same way someone who loves comic books or fantasy novels can get lost in their own world when they meet a fellow Tolkienist or get into an argument about whether Hulk can beat up Superman, the Swarm has Neurosama as the catalyst for their community.
Yeah.
They create art, stories, animatics, songs, clip compilations, all to explore what they're experiencing together. When Neuro asks Vidal, "Do you think I'll ever be real?" An AI hater or skeptic might scoff and think it's the algorithm trying to create clickbait or comments, but the community sees it as an invitation to delve into those questions themselves. They humanize her to explore deep concepts like friendship, good versus evil, knowledge versus experience, the meaning of life. It's the same way we feel when we watch a good movie. We know the characters aren't real, but the emotions they trigger are.
Exactly.
Just because they're fiction doesn't mean that the feeling they elicit isn't important. Neurosama and Vettel have a sort of parent-child relationship, and it's incredibly easy for me to relate to my own experiences as a father.
Okay.
He gives Neuro access to the internet, but he has to filter it so she doesn't learn the wrong things. He gives...
Yeah, because Twitch is mean. All right, but yeah. I've heard a little bit about that.
her freedom, but after she goes sideways, he has to set rules for her safety. He wants to see her reach her full potential, but he carries the weight of responsibility to guide her. For him, it's code. For me, it's my kids. People aren't watching Neurosama for Neurosama. They, like everyone who connects to artists who are changing the world, are a passionate, fanatical community of vulnerable, hopeful, lonely, creative, kind, real people who are celebrating together, growing together, building a subculture with its own language and stories. As content creators who want to build real influence, we need to understand what Neurosama's success teaches us. It's always, always about people connecting to people.
Yep. That's the crux of every content creator. That should be their raison d'etre, to be honest. That should be their reason for existing as a content creator. You know, like, how many content creators can you think of that you feel like they forget that very basic but very pivotal element of why content creation works so well? or why it's as big as it is, right? It's the human element that's the most important thing. It's the most important thing in any work of fiction or any story as well. And when you're looking at a content creator, in a way, you're getting a window through a story that you can interact with in many ways, right? That is dynamic and can change at any moment. And people, and I hope that if this ever happens, where this channel becomes something bigger, you know, where I can say, oh my God, I can pay rent with this, or I can move to a new apartment with this now, or things are really looking up for me. Like things are, you know what I mean? Like if it gets to that point, which is not even guaranteed at all. In fact, most content creators don't even they're only like a few years and then they're out like a candlelight, you know what I mean? But if it ever gets to that point, I really, really hope I never forget that. Because that matters in not just content creation. It matters in how you interact with people in real life, right? Everyone, if you consider every person's life like a story, the way you interact with that story, with the way you interact with people feels a lot more important, because the story can dramatically change based on that interaction. And the connections with the people you create, you know, create new chapters, new books even. So, I don't know. If you understand what I'm trying to say, I don't know. Sometimes I just say things, but yeah. I really hope that that never happens to me, where I forget those elements I mentioned before, where I came from, who helped me get to where I am now, right? That needs to be paramount every single time. I miss Vito. Oh my God. I miss my wife tales. Okay. All right, dude. All right, guy. I get you, dude. I'm pretty sure, when Vito comes back, tell him how much you missed him, dude. Tell the turtle man how much you missed him, bro. Anyways, that was a great video. That was very awesome. He seemed like a very understanding man, and it seemed like you guys really enjoyed his company and showed him love in return. So that was really nice to see, guys. I was not expecting to go into a tangent like this watching these videos. So, yeah. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the bell for notifications, not only for my channel on YouTube and Twitch at Jambo's Video, but also Rethinking Influence. Please do so. It seems like a really cool guy, to be honest with you guys. So, yeah, this was really nice. Thank you, Swarm, for letting me know about this video. Or these videos, actually. But that'll be it for now. Let me know what your favorite part about the video was. What stuck out most to you in this video. And I'll be looking for those comments. Take care of yourself. And as always, stay jamming.